Went. Here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And as I always say, greetings, one and all. It is Tuesday on February 6th, 2024. Very excited to be here with each and every one of you today. Just want to also stream on my phone. So if there's any comments that stroll in, I can actually see you guys. Okay, here we are. Okay, so this is day 13 of my 30-day challenge to share, teach, and inspire you regarding strength training and everything in between for that matter. Now, if you are new to me and you're watching for the very first time, let me explain what it is I am doing. 13, well, I can't even say it's 13 days ago because I have not been consistently coming on and sharing my challenge every day for 13 days. There's been days in between that I've missed, and there are days that I'm just not able to be here in general. So, anyway, I'm doing the best I can, showing up and challenging myself to come in front of all of you to share my stories, to share my teachings, and also to inspire you, especially for you women over 40 that may not yet be strength training. And my big question is, why are you not strength training? So before I dive into the topic of the day, let me introduce myself again for those who may not know who I am. Maybe you're bumping into me for the very first time. Into the topic of the day. Oops. Let me introduce myself. Let's scroll this down. So, as I said, let me introduce myself for those who do not know who I am. Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I am your holistic integrated teacher, Reiki master teacher, card creator, card reader, licensed and certified holistic personal trainer, medical astrologer. The list goes on and goes on and goes on. I have been in the health, fitness, and wellness industry since I am 12. I am 53 and a half years old. You do the math. I have transformed my body more times than I can count based on natural bodybuilding competitions and also pregnancy. And I've had two major surgeries, a hip replacement and what they call a grapevine of fatty tumors removed in my left hip. So with every one of those situations and experiences, I re-transform my body by getting it as healthy as it can be, especially during the surgery parts. And one of the things that I definitely appreciated at the time when having my hip replacement during the recovery period, while in recovery, one of the most important things that I found out was how important it was to have upper body strength, considering the experience that I went through for the first 3 days after my surgery, where I literally was not able to laterally move my legs. So I had a very challenging time getting out of bed, getting back into bed. I was able to walk once I did get up and out of bed. However, getting out of bed and getting back into bed was a challenge because my the procedure that I had from the surgery, the way it was cut literally into the muscle that allows us to laterally move our leg. So upper body strength was extremely important for me to have to get myself in and out of bed once I was able to get in and out of bed. So leading me right into this conversation in regards to today's topic about health and strength, how so many people take it for granted that because they may be young, that they don't necessarily need to strength train in order to be classified as healthy. Now, I'm actually going to start off by saying that's a disbelief. Disbelief. And what I mean by that is you do need strength in addition to health. And let me elaborate on what I mean by that. As a holistic personal trainer, I work with many people. Many people come to me for all different reasons to why they hire me as their trainer. Some come for just the process of accountability. Some come to me because they need a specific regimen for something they're looking to do. And then some come to me because they're looking to improve their balance. They're looking to improve their strength. They recently had surgery, so they want to continue their physical therapy through personal training, or they're getting ready for surgery, and they were advised to start doing some strength training so they can be strong enough for their post recovery of their surgery. So there's so many reasons to why a person would hire me. Recently, I had a client reach out, and when I say recently, this client's now working with me for about maybe just about 3 months. And the conversation by phone started off with this client takes care of their mother. Their mother is about, I think the client said she is 92 years old, and she has a long-term health issue, and since the pandemic, unfortunately, the health issue gotten worse. Whereas prior to the pandemic, she had more strength to do things where she could get out of bed to some degree on her own and do walking on her own. Since the pandemic, because she did have the virus, she's gotten weaker. And by her getting weaker, my client who takes care of her, the help is the care provider, now has to help their mother get in and out of bed and walk from, let's say, the bedroom to the bathroom. And the client, roughly 12 weeks ago, ended up hurting themselves, hurting their back upon getting their mother out of the bed. And went to their doctor, and the doctor suggested that the client start doing some sort of exercise to build up their core strength and also, excuse me, their arm strength and back strength, being that the client is going to be taking care of their mother, helping her in and out of bed, and to minimize or eliminate the client's risk of injury. This is the reason why the client reached out to me, wanting to improve their upper body strength and decrease the risk of injuring their back again. And this is the reason why I say so many people take for granted that they're healthy, not realizing there may come a time where you may have to take care of someone, such as this client, and may end up hurting yourself because your body is not conditioned to do the strenuous activities that you would need to do to take care of this person. So this is one reason, or should I say second reason, because I've already shared my example of having upper body strength after having surgery, how important it was for me to have the upper body strength to get myself out of bed. So there's two reasons right there to why strength is so important, and how it is very much connected to our health as well. Whether it's the person themselves that may have a illness or disease that will, of course, decrease their level of strength, or if the person is a caretaker and they are not strong enough to do the daily activities that are required to take care of a family member. So thinking in that aspect, the possibilities of you being in a situation where you may be required to utilize your body and to be stronger to do the things you're looking to do in order to have a sufficient level of health. Now, I speak on this matter a lot in regards to functional activities, where being strong, being stronger, gives you the ability of independence, where you do not have to rely on someone to help you take your groceries out of the car if they're in a car, or push in a stroller your groceries or your laundry, that you're able to carry things up a flight of stairs because you have the upper body strength, you have the core strength, and you also have the lower body strength to be able to do this. And again, these are things that we do take for granted. We don't realize that, one second, I'm just tagging some people. We do not realize that strength is so, so important for everyday health. Especially, for example, if you yourself came down with something other than a daily misalignment of a flu or cold, theoretically, and you find yourself being weaker and not being able to take care of yourself because of whatever health issue has arisen for you. Hold on one sec. So I share this conversation with you today because I really want to start triggering you to think about your health and your strength. Think about these areas of your body. Are your arms strong enough to help you or a loved one, if need be, get up out of a chair? Are your arms strong enough for you or for you to help a loved one get out of a chair, where you literally push your body up off the chair? Are your legs strong enough to be able to walk a mile? You have the core balance, the core strength rather, to hold a bag in your hand and not tilt over. Do you have the balance to walk without possibly falling? These are things you need to start asking yourself, and you need to start asking yourself just now so you can start building your strength, so you can have the strength that you will need to have and be strong enough and healthy enough for any situation that may arise. So it's something just to think about. Now, I have a few friends that actually teach martial arts, taekwondo, qigong, and I've been chatting with them over the last couple of weeks, and it's so interesting. On most of them and I share something in common, and that is the importance. There are 5 key components to help your body be healthy. And those 5 key components, the first one, which is going to sound weird, is called shaking. And what I mean by shaking, you know how like you take a towel and you shake it? Same thing with your body is you shake it. You do this and you're standing and you're shaking. And what that does, it gets the respiration going, warms up your internal organs, shakes things, get things shaking out whatever may be stagnant in your body. Did I freeze? I look like I froze. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, hopefully I didn't freeze. Hopefully I'm still with me. At least I look like I'm still with me here. On my phone, I look like I froze. The second thing is strength training, which is the very thing I happen to be talking about. as I said, the very second thing is strength training. Just trying to see if I can get myself, oh, there I go. Up and about again. Am I unmute? There we go. So like I said, the second thing is strength training, which is what I've been chatting about. And maybe you don't really know where to get started when you strength train, which could be one of the reasons why you're not strength training yet. Excuse me. Got a feather stuck. Isn't that interesting? So where do you get started if you're not sure where to get started when it comes to strength training? Start with your own body weight. Now, as you can see with the picture behind me, that's a whole loaded gym behind me. You do not need a loaded gym to get started. You can really just get started with your own body, and you can start off with simple movements such as I always show you, the overhead press. You could do squats where you're literally standing out of a chair. If you're not used to squatting, you just from your chair, feet shoulder width apart, stand up nice, sit up nice and tall, and stand up, keeping your chest upright so you're not dropping your chest, and stand up and then sit back down. Then you can also do kitchen counter push-ups. You could do couch push-ups, or you could do floor push-ups. Activate your chest. You can grab a broomstick, or you can grab water bottles, arms out your side, and do bicep curls. You can come to the edge of your chair. Actually, I'll give you something simpler than what I was going to give you. You can turn around and grab a milk carton, bring it up over your head, drop it behind you, and then push it back up. You can also do that with just a water bottle if you want to. Works the back of your arms. You can grab a broomstick again and lean over where your knees are slightly bent, hinging from your hips. Place the bar directly over your toes and then pull the bar up to your belly. Works your back. These are just some exercises that you can do that doesn't require a whole lot of weight and just really requires your own body weight or using some things that you do have already at home. And they're already giving you, what was that, 5 exercises? Squats, overhead press, push-ups, bicep curls, overhead extensions for your triceps, and broom bent over row for your back. I gave you 6 exercises that you can do that doesn't require a whole lot of equipment to get yourself started. Now, of course, as I've mentioned in many of my challenges over the last 13 segments, that over time, after you get started, there's going to be a need for progression. So this way here, you can continue to see results. I'm going to speak about that a little bit more towards the end. I do want to go back to that list before I digress, and then we get off topic. So we already talked about the shaking process. So the first thing that's so important, to shake things out of your system. Just like you would a towel or a rug, you want to shake all the dust off. Shaking is going to help you get whatever's stuck in your body to start moving. There's strength training to strengthen, to challenge your muscles to do something that's challenging so you can improve the strength, the physical strength, the emotional strength, the mental strength, and of course the spiritual strength. All this is required for your everyday life. Very, very, very important. Just want to do something. It's very important to help you with your everyday overall functional strength. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. The third thing that we want to add to this is stretching. stretching. Now, for my personal and professional opinion, most of us do not do enough stretching in our day. There's this what would you call it? You have the people who do their stretches in yoga, and they do that regularly. In fact, that category of people may be overstretching and under strengthening because they're so involved with their stretches in yoga. However, we do need to stretch our muscles. If we are sitting throughout the day, we're sitting many, many hours throughout the day, our hip flexors and our lower back become very tight from sitting. So it's so important that you want to do activities, stretches, that's going to open up that area that you have shortened the degree in. So when you're sitting with your hip flexors, the best way to stretch your hip flexors, believe it or not, is going into a single leg lunge position. You could do it from your chair as well. Now, I'm not sure if I would be able to demonstrate that right here with you, only because of my background. And what I will do is I will have a day where I will demonstrate certain exercises that you can actually see them, the exercises and the stretches that you can actually see them and follow along. So doing a seated lunge where you're just stretching back to one leg to open up the hip flexor so you can stretch out from the hip flexors to your quadriceps down to your knees. Because what tends to happen for many of us who are sitting for long periods of time, eventually what happens is a thigh muscle gets really tight and that starts to pull on the knees. And most people may tend to think they have a problem with their knee joint, whereas in fact it has absolutely nothing to do with the knee joint. It really has to do with the hip flexors are so tight that's really pulling on the quadricep, and that is what's causing the knee joint to hurt. So concentrating on these stretches, this way here, you can decrease the tightness in the hips and decrease any pain you might be having in your knees as well. And when it comes to stretching the back, literally just laying on the floor, or if need be, lay on your bed. I recommend the floor because it's a harder surface. Lay on your bed, start with your knees bent, and gently bring both knees up towards your chest, hugging your knees if you can, or place your hands under your knees and pull your knees as close to your chest as you can get it. And just hold that there for a count of 30, making sure you're breathing while you're holding, so you're not holding your breath. And that is going to stretch the lower lumbar of your back, which is going to help improve the blood circulation in your back, and it will take away any discomfort from sitting for long periods of time. So those are two stretches that you can do daily. You can perform daily stretches, as I just said, daily, because it's non-weight bearing. And anything you do non-weight bearing, well, I'm going to rephrase this. Most things you do not non-weight bearing, you can do most days of the week. Stretching is just that, it's stretching. Now, if you're stretching and you're finding that the stretches are causing you to feel causing you to feel tight, then take a day and do not stretch. Skip a day and do not stretch. Maybe at that point, if your muscles are that tight, maybe you may want to turn around and soak in the tub. It could also be an indication that you may need a little more water or even electrolytes if you are that sore after stretching. The fourth thing that you want to add into this list of things to do in order to have optimum health is breathing. Literally breathing. Pay attention to your breath. Bring your awareness always back to your breath. Pay attention to how your heart is beating and bring your awareness back to your breath. Literally with me right now. Just take a nice deep breath in and exhale it out. Do that again. As you take that deep breath in, I want you to be mindful that your belly is going to expand forward. So take that deep breath in. Exhale, and your belly is going to deflate. And that's bringing yourself back to your breath. Now, once you've done those four, you've done the shaking, you've done the strength training, you've done stretching, you've done your breath work. Then you come into your meditation. That's where you come to center yourself. That's where you take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the amount of time that you want to give yourself, that you want to spare and take care of yourself, where you come and meditate. Meditation can be done in so many forms. You could do a walking meditation, you could do a sitting meditation, however you want to meditate. There are so many different meditation videos available that you can go right to TikTok and find something that would beneficial for you. In fact, at some point, what we're going to do today together is I'm going to guide you through a chakra balance meditation. And what that just means is I'm going to walk you through each of your chakra points to help you align your chakras, become familiar with your chakras. This way here, on a daily basis, you can either make the time to do work with all 7 of the chakras, or work with one chakra. And this way here, you are aligning the chakras from inside out. And each chakra is associated with organs, and they're also associated with your body parts, and they're associated with your emotions as well. So doing these 5 things daily is essential for guaranteed health and strength. Guaranteed health and strength. So again, I'm going to review those 5 things just in case you didn't catch it or you want to take a quick note. And of course, you can always come back and rewatch. I'd like to say hello to everybody who's popping in right now. Hi, hi, hi. This is my day 13 of my 30-day challenge, sharing, teaching, and inspiring you. Today's topic's all about health and strength, the importance of the two. And so many of us take for granted our health, and we don't pay attention to how important it is to be strong. Physically strong, emotionally strong, mentally strong, and of course, spiritually strong. It is so important. And although, yes, I have in my background a full loaded gym behind me, you do not need a full loaded gym to get strong. You do need a handful of equipment, but not a whole lot of equipment once you get past your give and take 2 to 4 weeks of your beginning stages. So those 5 steps that I just was chatting with you about, the first one is called shaking. And shaking just means that you're standing. I don't know if I can do this, but you'll be able to see me because of my background. But you're literally just shaking. You're standing and you're shaking. And everything on your body is shaking in that process. Second is strengthening your muscles. So again, I mentioned 5 exercises that you could definitely do at home, requiring very little to no equipment at all. And those exercises were overhead press, squats, counter or floor push-ups, bicep curls, overhead, tricep extension, and broom bent over row. Those are your 6 exercises that you could do that requires little to no weight at all. And of course, if you need additional assistance, feel free to reach out, and I would be more than happy to getting you on my calendar and helping you put together a program that's going to be beneficial for what it is you're looking to do, so you can get stronger and have overall health. The third thing, stretching. So important. And so many of us overlook stretching. We do not give enough time or energy to stretching. And stretching is extremely important. You do not have to do stretches theoretically after a workout. You could do stretches in the morning, you could do stretches at night, you could do stretches in your bed. There's really no excuses for why we're not stretching, other than the fact that we're just not giving ourselves time to stretch. And it's very important, because the less you stretch, the tighter your muscles are going to become. So what's going to happen is, if you're not strength training and you're not stretching, you're going to have an imbalance. And that imbalance means you're going to have tight muscles and weak muscles. And that creates a disaster. Tight muscles and weak muscles. So it's so important that you do the 2. The 4th component, again, is breathing. Coming to your breath. Literally being mindful about your breath. Take note of how you are breathing. Take note of when you are moving, when you are walking, when you are talking, when you are sitting. How are you breathing? Bring the awareness always back to your breath, because that brings you back to your center. It helps to ground you. It helps you bring you back to your present moment of right now. And then the fifth thing, which we're going to do together, is meditation. Meditation. And you may be sitting back saying, well, I don't have enough, what's the word I'm looking for? Patience to meditate. I don't know how to meditate. I get distracted when I meditate. And these are all reasons why we want to meditate. So if you find yourself getting distracted when you meditate, if you've meditated before and you find that your thoughts go off somewhere, that's okay. If you're meditating and the thought shows up, focus on the thought. There's a reason why that thought just popped into your head. Focus on it. Ask your thought, what is it you need me to do here? Why is this thought popping in? You don't have to push it away. You don't have to pretend that it doesn't exist. If a thought pops in, if all of a sudden you're sitting there in your meditation and you start thinking about your grocery list, okay, recognize your grocery list. Recognize all the things that's on that list and then gently put that list aside. And when you are done with your meditation, come back and pick it up. There is no reason why you cannot meditate. So what I like to do in the remaining portion of our time together is I like to help you move into a meditation. So if you can, I'd like you to find a comfortable position to sit in. I do strongly recommend that you, when you are going to practice your meditation, that you do not practice meditation lying down. Why is that? Ideally, you want to be present when you're meditating. And that sounds a little weird, that you want to be present when you're meditating. You do not want to end up falling asleep during the meditation, because the whole process of meditation is going within and checking in on whatever it is that may surface from the shaking, from the strengthening, from the stretching, from the breathing. Because all of this is really about connecting with yourself and discovering whatever it is that may need your attention, that might be associated with something that took place a month ago, something that took place 6 months ago. It may be something that has happened to you when you were a child, and you have a lot of experiences showing up in your life as an adult that represents or mirrors those experiences as a child. And the best way to work on healing from whatever traumas we've experienced as children when they surface is to recognize them. So giving yourself permission that when you are going to sit to a meditation, that meditation is the practice of healing. Now, if you happen to not like the word practice, change the word to something else. It could be that you're going to allow yourself to sit and connect with your inner child, and whatever shows up from your inner child, for that moment of time, perhaps you may take it a little deeper to see if you can heal from that trauma, so you can work on releasing it. Because the only way we can release anything that's sitting in our bodies is coming to that place where we're ready and willing to heal by releasing it. What healing just means is that we move into a space of forgiving for ourselves and for any other party that was involved with the situation. Until we can get to that place where we forgive, then we still hold on to whatever it is that's showing up in our bodies. And most of the time, what shows up in our bodies from the trauma is pain, illness, or disease. And this is a big reason to why it's so important to do those 5 practices daily: the shaking, the strengthening, the stretching, the breathing, and the meditation, is to help you work through whatever it is that you're holding on to from childhood to maybe your teenage years to maybe even your 20s, 30s, 40s. That it's now time to allow yourself, give yourself permission to work on releasing it, so you no longer have to carry the emotional weight that shows up as the physical weight. And this is your time to do that now. Every time you give yourself time to allow for meditation, you give yourself permission to work on healing something. And to assure that you have ample health and strength, it requires healing on the most holistic journey possible. So again, I invite you to find a comfortable position to sit in. You're welcome to sit on the floor. You're welcome to sit in your chair. You're welcome to sit on your couch, wherever it is. Now, if you happen to be listening to this while you're driving, please come back later and do this practice. Allow yourself this time. It will be a short meditation, so it's something that you can go back, come back and rewatch again and create this as a daily practice, because it will be short and will be something that you will be able to do. And it's not going to be where you're going to feel pressured or you're going to feel guilty because you're doing the meditation where you could be doing something else. This is a guilt-free practice, guilt-free allowing, a guilt-free gift that I want you to give to yourself as part of your self-care in your day. So I want you to close your eyes, or just, if you don't want to close your eyes, just keep them open. I want you to come focus in on your breath. So we're going to take 3 deep cleansing breaths. So we're going to deep into the belly, and as you exhale, allow the belly to deflate. So 3 deep breaths. Now I'd like you just to take a walk in your mind's eye as though you're walking down the street or wherever you are right now. It's a beautiful sunny day. And as you are walking, you're going to come across a bench and you're going to find yourself sitting there. Once you find yourself sitting on the bench with the sun just beaming over your head, so you feel this beautiful, comfortable heat hovering over your head. I'd like you to place your hands right in front of your heart center. Activate your hands where we activate the energy. Just separate your hands and imagine energy from one hand to the other. Then imagine, as you're imagining the energy from one hand to the other, imagine holding a crystal ball. And inside that crystal ball are a bunch of colors representing the rainbow. The reds, the orange, the yellows, greens and pinks, turquoise, indigos, and purple. Now we're going to take the left hand, place it right on your heart center. And right hand placed right on your belly, right above your belly button. This is known as the universal pose. As the universal pose. And that was a sample of a squat, by the way. So in this energy, as you keep your eyes closed, connecting with the universal hug, staying connected to those 7 chakras, those 7 colors. Imagine this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful red light just flowing past you. And that you can see, feel, sense, or touch that red light sitting right below you at your tailbone, where it helps you to become more and more supported, feeling safe and provided for. You may find yourself rocking from one side of your cheekbone to the next, where you feel the balance, and you all of a sudden become calibrated, where you become completely still. As you become more calibrated and still, you begin to notice a beautiful orange light flashing by. As you notice the orange light flashing by, you begin to feel this little energy right below your belly button, activating your ability for creativity, self-empowerment, self-strength, confidence, and your desires. Your desire to be strong and healthy. Just take a breath from your orange light sitting right below the belly button as you tap into your sacral energy. And as you tap into the sacral energy, maybe you might imagine yourself from the age of 7 to about 15. Imagine your inner child perhaps sitting right next to you. Take a breath. As you exhale the breath, a yellow light starts to flow past you. As that yellow light flows past, you start to feel this energy right in your belly, your solar plexus. You and your inner child begins to feel safe, secure. You start to trust. You start to trust yourself. You start to trust that someone is taking care of you. You just feel this sense of abundance. And as you take in this self-care, you finally feel deserving of this break with no guilt. As you sit in your solar plexus, perhaps you now begin to see a version of yourself for when you were 16 to 22. A version of yourself sitting right beside you, connecting and feeling safe and secure and trusting you. Take a breath from your belly. And as you do, you begin to see this beautiful green and pink light flashing by. Begins to activate your heart. Your heart begins to beat very lightly. You start to feel joyful. You may even hear your inner voice laughing from the joy, from the gratitude, from the excitement, from the love, the unconditional love you're giving yourself right now. And perhaps you begin to see another version of yourself from maybe the age of 23 to about 29, just sitting right beside you, where you're feeling grateful, appreciated, loved, and very happy. Take a breath in your heart. Literally drop your breath to your heart. And as you do, begin to imagine this turquoise light flashing by. It begins to activate your throat chakra, your ability to speak, self-expression, where you begin to hear your inner voice say, I can, I will, I am. And at this point, sitting right beside you, you start to imagine the version of you of when you were 30 to about 37, where really your voice becomes pronounced and your words are so powerful you want to share them. Reciting, I can, I will, I am. And again, take a breath from your throat. And as you do, just imagine this beautiful indigo light just flashing by. Where now you bring your awareness right to your third eye, where you can see the image of a third eye. And as you see the image of your third eye, perhaps you begin to visualize all the different versions of you from all the different ages that came through. Seeing yourself as the best version of you right now, right here, the healthier, the stronger version of you. Being able to do everything and anything you put your mind to doing. See yourself shaking your body out. See yourself strengthening your body. See yourself stretching your body. Also see yourself stretching beyond your comfort zone. See yourself breathing. Feel your breath. And as you sit in this amazing meditation, envisioning all the different versions of yourself, the best version of you. Take a breath. And as you exhale this breath, imagine this beautiful purple flashing light comes crossing by, where you begin to feel this vibration right above your head. That energy opens up. It's like a key to the door above you, to the heavens, connecting you to your higher self, to loved ones, to fairies, to higher power, or your angels. This time, just take a breath. And as you exhale this breath, what I like you to do now is I like you to place both hands down into your lap with your palms face upward in the position of receiving. And just be open to all your ancestors, loved ones, fairies, angels, higher self, and all the different versions of you to be surrounding you and supporting you and guiding you. And just feel the energy of all the presence around you. And for the next 60 to 90 seconds, there's going to be quiet. So you can embrace your senses to hear, see with your eyes closed, feel, smell, sense, and even know. Start to know things that you had no idea what you knew about. The unlimited spiritual wisdom that shows up. And just for now, and as they say in Reiki, just for today, be open to your gifts. Be open to your abilities. And the quiet will begin right now. Take a moment and take another deep breath in. And as you exhale the breath, just slowly begin to feel your energy returning back to the space that you were in. Feel yourself sitting wherever it is you were sitting. If your feet are on the floor, feel yourself connecting to the earth. Slowly begin to open your eyes, and as you do, just start to look around the room. Perhaps you can see your room differently than you saw it before. When you have a moment, grab a pen and paper and jot down anything and everything you experienced during this time we were together. Write it all down, whatever it is, whether it makes sense to you or not. And if you have any questions or you wish to share what it is you experienced during our time together during your meditation, feel free to email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Put whatever questions or comments that showed up for you in the email. And then I will reach out to you and set up a time to meet with you to discuss further what it was you experienced during your time while we were together. I will go ahead and put the email in the comments in the Facebook link. So again, I hope that you enjoy that meditation and that you come back and revisit that meditation and do that meditation as often as you like every single day to get to know each and every one of your chakras. Note that each chakra that we worked on today is associated with a specific age. As mentioned, I started from the sacral, did not have you visit your younger version of yourself from the root chakra age, which is from 0 to 7. And I wanted to share that with you so you were aware. So the root chakra is 0 to 7. The sacral chakra, which is slightly below the belly button, is from about 7 to 15. Solar plex, which is at your belly, is from 16 to 22. The heart center is from 23 to about 30, 31. Your throat chakra is from about 31 to about 37, 38. And then your third eye is from 39 to about 7 years later. And then your crown chakra just opens you up to your higher self, to your higher self. So again, like I said, if you do not have time to work on all 7 chakras during a meditation, zoom in on one. Imagine the colors again, the red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the pink, the turquoise, the indigo, the purple. Choose one of those colors and stay focused on that color. And you can stay focused on that color each time you do your meditation, as frequently as you like until you feel like working on a different color. Again, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Remember, you want to do those 5 activities I spoke on, the shaking, to shake things out. So whatever might be stagnant, you're going to move that energy. Movement is so important to getting your energy to shift. So anytime we're experiencing something in our external life where we feel stuck, we feel like we're at a crossroad, we feel we're not doing something, we're frustrated for that matter, this is an indication where there's something within you that needs your attention, because there's something blocking you from taking that next step. And that blockage could just be, maybe there's a fear, maybe there's a lack of confidence, maybe there's a lack of trust, maybe there's a lack of strength, the courage to take the next step. So that's why it's so important to do these exercises daily, shaking it out. So if you are experiencing any place in your life, any area of your life where you just feel like there should be more and you're just not seeing it, these little simple practices will get you to where you want to be. The strength training is so important because not only is it physical strength training, but it's also the spiritual strength training, because you will, and I guarantee you will experience something in your lifetime, multiple lifetimes for that matter, multiple times, multiple experiences where your strength is going to be required. Whether it's having the strength to literally help somebody come out of a chair, or having the strength to literally get yourself out of a chair, you're going to be required to have strength. So it's so important to start allowing time for that now. And I remember a client asking me, or saying to me, she never found exercising to be fun. And when I gave her my response to that, she was quite shocked. And my response was, exercising is not fun. You have to make it fun. You have to find something about your exercise, your strength training program, that makes it fun. And I always say, the best way to determine your strength training program to be fun is finding your why. Why are you strength training? What is your reason to why you're looking to get stronger? It's not a vanity. It's not about, well, you want to have sexy legs, you want to have sexy arms, or you want to have a 6-pack. It's not vanity. It goes way beyond that, because if your why is about having sexy legs or sexy arms or a 6-pack, it's going to be a very short-lived experience, because that's not going to sustain you for the long term of what strength training is about. Strength training is a lifestyle. If you've ever experienced physical therapy or rehab, then you'll understand that strength training is just the next level to physical therapy and rehab. It's something you have to continue in order to maintain the results you're getting from whatever it is you did the physical therapy or rehab for. It's a lifestyle. And remember that stretching is equally as important as strengthening is, because you do want to stretch any muscle that tends to feel tight. And because we do sit a lot more than we've ever sat before, it's so important to make sure we are stretching. So many of us are spending so much time holding our cell phones in our hands or our tablets in our hands. We have what's called forward head syndrome, where your head is dropped forward. Those muscles in your neck become stretched, and they need to be strengthened. When I say stretch, meaning they get overly stretched, which creates a weakness in the neck muscle, and that pulls on the trapezius muscle, which is the upper back, and that itself creates headaches and jaw issues. So there's so many reasons why stretching is so important. In addition to your stretching, always come back to your breath. Always come back to your breath. Breathing is essential. Without breathing, we have no life. And then, of course, your meditation practice. Those five steps every single day to incorporate so you can be a healthy version of yourself and a stronger version of yourself. So for you ladies out there who are 40 or over and you are not strength training, today's the day you start strength training. I would like for you to reach out to me, reserve a complimentary 15-minute self-growth discovery session. We will discuss and discover a regimen for you to get you started. Even if it means you are strength training 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day goes a very long way. And over time, as you start to see the results of getting stronger, feeling good about yourself, feeling good about your body, and feeling more confident, you will definitely want to have your workouts a little longer each time. Now, remember, as I always say, strength training does not have to be 1 hour. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maximum 45 minutes. There's really no reason to be strength training for an hour. If you are strength training for more than an hour and it does not include your stretches, you may be overtraining. And that may be my next subject matter on day 14. So all that being said, I want to wish you all an amazing day. I thank you so much for coming through, whether you watched on the live or you're watching this on a replay. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Again, if you have any questions, comments, if you did participate in the meditation, I would love to hear what you experienced during that meditation, what showed up for you, what version of you showed up for you based on the different ages, based on the different chakra points. I would love to know all about that, and you can send me that through emailing healingwithin76@gmail.com. I wish you a blessed day, and as I always ask, 3 questions. How are you feeling? How are you doing? How are you being? Enjoy the rest of the day until we get together again. Bye-bye for now.